What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another week of KCM. Not a whole lot of people are going to watch this, simply because it is ASL time. So I do thank you guys, those of you who have joined me today. We've got a great lineup for you. Sharp Light Royal, Best Bisu Snow, Soma Action Miso. And we're starting things off right with Royal up here in the top right-hand corner of Eclipse. Down in the bottom left, we have Miso, my favorite matchup to start things off. TVZ here on this map, it does go a little bit different. I think Eclipse has messed with the overall metagame here quite a bit, more than any other map that we've seen for a long time. Any standard map, I would say. Map that's widely played and utilized in tournaments. This map, much loved by the Starcraft Broodwar community. It's changed this matchup quite a bit, though. For example, it's very common to see 3-hatch play with Hydra, Lurker, and Defiler come out with the Plague. Huge mid-game armies of Zerg battling against Terran players who have to quickly switch into tank production. Can lead to some really interesting fun games. You don't really see the typical style of Zerg on this map. It's so hard to get that fourth base that Zergs have had to get very innovative here. And so we get to just see something a little bit different. Not insanely different, not like a Sparkle map or something like that, but this map does produce an interesting alternative metagame that I don't know why this style doesn't actually grow in popularity and become more viable in on regular 4-player maps, but it seems to be very strong here. We'll see if Miso wants to open with that, or if he wants to go into a 2-base style, try to go all in with Muta or something like that. Again, it's not really viable to play things out in the normal style. 2-hatch Muta into a 3rd base on high ground with Lurkers does not net you a 4th base, an easy to take 4th base, so pretty rough. Another thing that's pretty rough here, Royal catching this Overlord out in the middle of the map. That does stink. I think that Miso actually going to lose this Overlord. He's trying to bring a drone over here to prevent this from going down, but that will fall. His first Overlord of the game dies. And that's doubly painful here because that Overlord flew all the way across the map. It was meant to arrive on the cliff of Royal and get a good scout of that natural. Now he's just not going to have that information for the rest of this game. He has to remake an Overlord now. Royal is in a pretty huge advantage. I know it seems relatively trivial here, losing a single Overlord, but the earlier in the game those units are lost, the more impactful they become later on in the game, and he reveals to the Zerg player his Marines pushing across the map. Royal's coming out here, and a Hydralisk Den gets thrown down. This is pretty darn bad for me, so I think he's producing a whole bunch of Lings. I'm surprised that Royal wants to come all the way forward here. I think pulling back at this moment would be way better. He's going to take a fight with these Lings. All the Marines should end up going down pretty easily. I mean, this is not StarCraft 2. You cannot just stutter step micro your Marines back. So every single one goes down. Bit of a win there for Miso. And he's going to go straight into Lurker here, I think. Really no point in going just Hydras and trying to fight against the Marine medic they're about to come out. So he will be making Lurkers and just going all in against Royal's wall in here. Lurker bust can be very effective against a walled-in Terran, and Royal didn't get the scout off. He also lost those Marines. The reason I was saying he should have turned back there was because he'd already been revealed by that Overlord. You know that Miso is going to be producing some links to deal with that, and now he's very low on his Marines. He can't push out here. He would love to have those extra Marines right now, produce a couple of medics, and then move out in front a little bit. Oh, okay, spots the Hydralisk Den. That's a really big scout there. Gonna get that bunker down. 2 bunkers actually behind this wall, though. He can't get the bunker in front of the wall, unfortunately, so he definitely will end up losing at least those 2 supply depots. I'm not sure if this will actually kill, since he's got these bunkers. Gonna finish up here a little bit early. Even a 3rd bunker coming down. This is a huge committal to the a huge commitment here to the defenses. So 3 bunkers immediately. He should not die here, but he really is using a ton of money to defend against this. He's gonna lose these 2 supply depots as well. He will have to lift off his bunker. And meanwhile, Miso back at home, he's producing a Queen's Nest. So going up into Defiler here as quickly as possible. He knows that this is probably not going to work. It's probably not going to bust here, even with all these links. Okay, he's going to dive forward here with the Lurkers jumping on top of these bunkers. I think this is a terrible idea. Everything's going to end up surviving. The Lurkers are lasting for a very long time, though. In the end, a single Lurker does survive. That last bunker goes down, yet busting 3 bunkers is crazy. Crazy ambitious here by Miso. Meanwhile, going for Hive, I feel like he should have just added on more Lurkers there and kept the pressure on there at the front. And just sort of wait for that for that Defiler to come up, but now he's gonna have, there's a single Lurker here hitting the supply depot. He has a few more links coming up as well, maybe a Lurker or 2 more behind this. But Royal can easily, I think, scan and just kill this Lurker, and then he's out on the map. He's free. That'll make the Defiler getting across the map much less likely. And that's not leaving a lot of options here left for Miso. Really, the story of this game, I think, is just losing that first Overlord. Miso put into a desperate situation from the beginning. Still producing Lurkers here. His Hive is about to finish. Royal is out on the map, though, after killing that 1 Lurker, and it's just going to be that much harder now for Miso to end this game. He needs to finish off this Terran player right now, or at least as soon as the Defiler pops out here, as soon as he has consumed, just try to rush in and hit that natural, but I just don't see how that's going to work out for him. Unless Royal does something completely stupid. If Royal runs his army back up into his base for about 3 minutes here, I think that Miso can win. That might be a possibility, but I don't think that's going to happen. He's producing a science vessel already. Looks like, oh, Spire coming down here too. Miso just stretching so thin. Another good scan there. Sees that Defiler's nest has been thrown down. There's a Defiler on the way, of course, but Consume's still a little ways off. I'll send that Defiler across the map as soon as it is hatched. 3 tanks are present, though. 3 tanks not going to do great against Darkstorm. Really can't do anything against that Darkstorm, but Royal being out in a forward position here makes all the difference. As that Defiler's coming across the map, Royal can push forward, shove back these Lurkers, and make life very difficult for me. So I was really going to try to end the game here. Yeah, here we go. Pushing straight out to start to pick off these Lurkers. Another unsiege here. He will push up towards this high ground, I think. Nope, just hanging out back here. There's the Defiler. Still dangerously close to the front of his base right now. He needs to create a little bit more space here, I feel. Lings and Lurkers about to head forth. There's the stim up. Lurkers under Dark Swarm. Cannot be killed here. 4 tanks, though. As the Lurkers run forward, tanks can absolutely shoot them with that splash and try to pick them off. Here comes the first Radiate on that first Defiler. Will be picked. But the army of Royal looks to be running around now. Second Defiler making its way up towards the natural. Can he get a good burrowed location here at the front? Oh, there's a Firebat in that bunker. You should be able to finish off that last Lurker. And with that, I think Miso's hopes here in this game have just about run out. That Lurker gets picked off. That's hilarious. I think that was splash damage from the second Lurker getting shot there. These eggs being damaged, getting surrounded. Miso's last hope. Single Lurker in the natural. I mean, it's a very strong play to have a Lurker in your opponent's natural. But with no further reinforcements, with Royal pushing towards the main base here, I think that should be the end of the game here. Yeah, final Irradiate. 1 Lurker attacking at the front. GG. Miso taps out and Royal will advance. Alright, quite the anticlimactic game there. Miso taking a rough early loss, forced into a crazy all-in. Doesn't end up working out. Now Royal going up against Snow. Game number 2. We are here on Monopoly. 3-player map. Triangular shape. No, gonna head around the top side. That center area is an island. One of the first center islands I think we've ever seen in Broodwar. It's nice to see them playing with new ideas, trying some things out. I don't remember any maps had a center island. If you do, leave a comment down below. Let me know, because I honestly cannot remember any of our past maps that had that feature. So it can possibly work out on this map that either Protoss or Terran could take that base. I think this is a great carrier map. Been pointed out by Tastosis in the past that that center area really allows Protoss to have like a safe zone for the carriers and then attack in any direction from that center point. Just float over that area and they can head out in whichever direction they see fit, away from the Terran army, probably, most likely just avoiding the Goliaths like that over and over and over again and getting that damage. Snow's coming in with his first Zealot. Bit surprised to see him shy away from that first Marine, actually, and up in the main base. 3 Marines are now out. Second Zealot is about to arrive. But the building positioning here from Royals looking very good. He has a nice microable location here. Backing away from the Zealots as they move forward. And now with 4 Marines, he's going to feel confident here to take his command center. Of course, that Vulture going to come out now as well. Head his way around the map, search out the Protoss base. Looks like he's going to take the long path around for now. And a bunker being thrown down here. Robotics facility on the way. Not really that surprising, considering it is snow. Should be seeing some Reavers here. If we didn't see any Reavers, I would be very, very surprised. Snow really one of our top Protoss players, especially when it comes to Reaver control. Guy's just such a god with those Reavers, so why not build the unit that that's really gotten you as far as it has? It's like Sharp not building any vultures. It would just be insane. Although that play, I mean, it can lead to some predictability. If you are very predictable in StarCraft, it can become very easy to defend against all of your plays, and Terran players, they can figure out what they need and when they need it, and then they can counter your play. But you know, Reaver just overall very strong, even if everything's been dealt with, even if there are turret rings around the Terran base, even if the Terran is defending perfectly, Snow can still use that to slow down a push. You can still use it to deny bases. You can always find good uses for that unit. He can use it to break armies. In him dumping those Reavers on top of Terran armies and using the Scarabs to blow up groups of tanks. He's very, very good at that, and he's coming up here. Royal is with an attack now. There's 3 vultures and 2 tanks against just 3 dragons and 2 zealots. With a Reaver about to arrive, he should be able to hold this push. The thing that Reaver really does so well is allow you to stop pushes like this. It's like a big mine hit there. Wow, huge. 2 more mines. Oh my goodness, I thought that Snow would have no problem dealing with this push, but those mine hits were immense. Dealing so much damage there to the Terran army. Now he will still have this Reaver alive. He's going to surround this tank as well, so that's huge. Oh, that was a pretty good shot there from the tank to actually deal more damage to this Reaver and prevent it from easily picking up that tank, but he will eventually hold this. He's lost his whole army. His Reaver is very, very low, but pure Vulture running in here is not going to be enough. This Reaver can survive forever being juggled in and out of that shuttle, so there's going to have to be a plan B here for Royal, and it looks like a starport proxied in the top left is going to be the move here. Royal going to send probably a dropship into the Protoss main base. Oh, this is so smart. Snow sending out a probe with his shuttle. Going to snag that third base. Probe plus Dragoon. And Royal has no idea about this base. I'm surprised that more Protoss players don't do moves like this, but you know, Snow, he understands his opponent's strength on the map is in those vultures. He knows that he doesn't really have a push ready to go right now, but picking off that probe as it moves towards the third base could be extremely annoying. So making sure that he's dealt with that as an option. Make sure that he can get that third base down without fear is really, really valuable. Unfortunately, though, not walling off his natural. He's going to lose quite a few probes here. And a dropship coming into the main base as well. This is a great distraction from Royal. All the probes are here in the main, and what is he doing? He's firing at the pylon here. That was a little bit wasteful. Royal shooting pylons for quite a while rather than diving in and killing more probes, so that's unfortunate. He's going to come through here. It looks like drop off these 2 vultures. Try to get as many kills as he can. Just looks like 1 vulture going to make it out in this dropship. Not a terrible drop, but it definitely could have been better there had he focused a little bit harder on the probes. Not missing those shots. A little bit unfortunate there for Royal, but he still is in a good position here. He has that starport. He can add on a science facility here shortly. Oh, nice handling of that mine by Snow. Vulture's still alive there in that dropship, just kind of hovering over that base like a true vulture, waiting for the opportunity to strike. We're adding on even more factories here. Ah, okay. Arbiter Tribunal. Snow gonna go with the more normal tech here, rather than sticking with the new meta and going for Speed Shuttle, Reaver, and... Oh, wait a second. Nice job there, picking off that observer. Wasn't even moving, but Royal managed to spot it out. That is very hard to do. Really tough to find that blur on the map and actually pick that off, but he manages to get that. Pretty good. Royal now going to push out across the map. He actually has a great position here with those mines behind the army. He's also bringing along a few Goliaths. Let's see if he has enough Goliaths here to pick off the shuttle. This is that great play that Royal seems to always show off in KCM, but's rarely able to emulate or repeat in the big 1v1 tournaments like ASL. Oh, grabs that shuttle. Look at Royal just picking apart one of the best Protoss players in the world. If not, I mean, this is probably the best Protoss versus Terran player in the world. And Royal just handling him so effortlessly right here. He's pushing into a great position at this wall, making it very, very difficult for Snow to take a fight here. He's going to pull his probes as well. He has no Arbiter. That first Arbiter hasn't even popped out yet. By the time it does pop out, there will be turrets ready and waiting. Royal won't even have to rely on scans here to get the vision of that army. There's not going to be a spell for a very long time. Royal's going to slowly push down this Nexus. He's already hitting it. Going to get one more tank. Looks like just barely in range. There we go. The moment this Nexus goes down, I think the hopes and chances here of Snow are going to end. There's that Arbiter trying to push forward a single Zealot to eat some mines. More missile turrets coming up. Here's that shuttle as well. 3 Goliaths though in this army. That's way too much. Oh, he loses the shuttle. So rough. The Nexus goes down as well. It's like Royal about to win this game. But unfortunate, they're eating some damage with his tanks. That tank splash doing a lot. Can't quite hit this Reaver, just barely out of range. 10 kill Reaver. Nice job with that as well. Missed a scan there. Royal not able to get that scan off. Gotta shoot that Reaver. Nicely done. Kills off the Reaver, and as soon as this pylon breaks, he's gonna be able to kill every single probe at that base. Snow desperately trying to throw down some Zealots on top of these tanks. Here comes a big mine hit. Let's go. Okay, never mind. Thought for sure there was going to be a huge mine hit there. One spell does go down. Gets 3 tanks. Not bad. Definitely a great stasis there. Comes another mine. Unfortunately, one more shot. Picks off that last Dragoon. And here comes the reinforcements. That's way too much to handle. Snow gonna have to tap out here. GG. Royal takes yet another game. Well, well, well. My first pick for the winner of ASL this season, who I thought is gonna do very, very well. Royal really showing up here in KCM this week. the other favorite of mine, Sulky. He's not here today. Instead, we've got Action coming up next. He's in the top left-hand corner. Starting out here with a hatchery. This is quite an early hatchery, actually. Is that a hatchery? No. That was a hatchery on 12. 12 hatch. 11 pool. Now droning back up once again. Sometimes when I skip the early game here, the very earliest part of the game, you know, there's nothing really going on usually. But sometimes get messed up with the build. Sorry about that, guys. Do try to streamline things here. Busy schedule these days, so have to try to make the most out of my time. Wow, was that actually 2 drones hitting at the same time, one behind the other? Drones have such an insane range in comparison to the SCV. That is pretty crazy, though. A lot of damage on that first SCV. Now there's just 1 Marine out here. Second Marine gonna join him now. Is it enough to pressure? Well, it might force Action to build a few extra Lings. But that's probably going to be it. Back at home, Royal is gonna put his Marines behind this wall. SCV on that ramp should be fine even against this number of Lings. That's quite a lot of Lings. They're forced out of action here. Third base on the way already. Interesting. Third base before, I think, even layer here. Yeah, the gas just now being taken. So third base before layer. This is a lot more similar to a ZVP build that we're seeing right now, and actually Royal spawns that immediately. His scouting is on point. He sees that with the SCV. Going to have a great idea about where he's at in this game. Now Action going to try and break this ramp. There's only 1 SCV here. Can he actually get through this wall? He's committing a lot of Lings to this attack, and the control here from Royal is way too good. Great hold there by Royal. He's going to bring up a few more SCVs. He doesn't even need to pull this many, but wants to make sure we can survive. Drones going to be pumping out from Action, so a lot of waste there from Action. That is pretty sad on the side of Action here. Ended up losing way too many Lings for way too little return there. His lair is late. He does have his third base early, so I would say that's something pointing in his favor. But that investment into Ling, that early investment into Ling that was kind of forced a little bit by Royal, being aggressive out on the map with those early Marines, did not pay off at all. Now Action going to be playing from a deficit here. Royal should be able to hold this lead. He absolutely has the chops for that. Even against a player as strong as Action, it's going to take something extraordinary for Action to get back into this game to even things out here at least. Going to take some pretty amazing control. You can see he's adding on the Spire, but does not even have that second gas yet. He's going to have to throw down a ton of either Lings or Sunken Colonies. It looks like it'll be both right now. Producing quite a few Lings. They're running out around on that map. He's going to be building Sunken Colonies at this third base and at the second base location. Royal just pushing out slightly with this pretty normal, honestly, timing here with the 2 medics. Wait a second, these 2 medics headed in the completely wrong direction. Actually, that could have been horrible for Royal if Action had caught on to that movement a little bit quicker. Bring his Lings up and surround those 2 medics. He could have killed this push just outright with pure Ling. Unfortunately, doesn't take advantage of that situation, though, and Royal will combine his forces once again. He sees the number of Sunken Colonies at each of these bases, and he recognizes that enough has been spent in the defense for Action. He doesn't actually need to push out any further. Damage has been done already just by Action reacting to what Royal was doing, so A Queen's Nest coming up here. Still no third gas, which is kind of crazy. In this matchup, not having a third gas still is a little bit mind-blowing. He gets the scan off. He sees the Queen's Nest. I wonder if we've got an Evo chamber here somewhere. We probably should. If this is what I think it's going to be here. One Muta now flying out at 7 minutes. That is hilarious. Very, very strange game here so far from Action. There is the evolution chamber. So he is actually getting that Carapace upgrade. He is going to be going for Crazy Zerg style. Ultra Rush is incoming here. He'll have to... Oh, look at that. A run by here into the main. Action. Gonna get a lot out of this attack, I think. Oh my goodness, these Marines just so perfectly placed here. Absolutely wrecking these Lings. My god, he barely managed to kill off that last Marine with only 2 Lings left standing. That is really rough here. Actually known for having some of the best Ling control in the world. Not able to deal much damage with this Ling run by, so a bit surprising there. And Royal, he's going to head back out on the map once again. He's about to have a double dropship, I think. That should have been scouted by Action, who's, of course, producing a few Scourge. Just getting ready for that drop. You know, one really big hole in this type of play, in this type of Crazy Zerg play, is that you just don't really have a lot of defense aside from your sunken wall. If that Terran army can somehow kind of avoid that wall and get damage, i.e. with dropships, it can absolutely wreck your plans here. Ultra's Cavern coming up. See, it is absolutely going to be that rush, and if a dropship gets inside the space, if these 2 dropships get up in that main, this game could just end immediately here for Action. He could just be eliminated right away. He has everything prepared. Let's see if he catches on to this. There's the scan. And here comes the drops. Oh, Action, I think he's a little late. Oh, the turnaround there. Royal not able to get in. Good job by Action on top of this drop. The first attempt has been negated, and here comes 2 Scourge. He should be able to catch this. Oh, he does get it. Nicely done there. Royal backing, turning around with that dropship at an inopportune moment. And a lot of the wind has been taken out of the sails here for Royal. Action is going to get his 4th base up. He's going to get that 4th gas. A lot of units have been lost here. The first round of units coming out of the starport has been kind of gone to waste here. And he could have produced a couple of science vessels. Those would have been gaining energy and should have been ready by now for those irradiates or the D-Matrix in order to bust this sunken defense, but he doesn't have either of those tools. Instead, he has 2 useless dropships, one of which has been already picked off. So Royal moving back and forth between these 2 bases. He's got nowhere to attack. He's got no siege tanks to try to break down this wall, and Action doesn't feel like he's under any pressure right now as he continues to upgrade these ultras and speed his way up to the very latest part of this game, getting into late game ZVT very, very quickly here. He's continuing to add on sunken colonies just slowly, bit by bit, and knowing that Royal's army is going to be growing here slowly over time, and if he doesn't continue to keep up that sunken production, he will fall behind and eventually could be broken. So he's going to keep on throwing those down, making sure he has enough. Royal going to bounce back and forth here, try to get some good irradiates, try to get some value out of these 2 science vessels. Singling with 2 kills. Doing quite a bit here. but will be shut down. Royal, his supply is huge. You can see the difference in the supplies here. It doesn't really matter though right now. What truly matters here is, of course, those upgrades and that fourth gas that's already mining here for action. Royal, I don't think he really has another choice here. He has to start taking more bases. He's not going to break through these locations, not with the Dark Swarm available now, plus those Ultras, +3 carapace is ready. I believe that's just +1 armor with the Ultralisk chitinous plating. So pretty quickly here, that second armor is going to fill up, or is going to finish up. Terran Armory on the way now. We're going to have possibly a mech transition here from Royal, or just a bunch of tanks being produced. There it is, the mech transition here. At least he will be sending out some vultures for those mines. It's a really good counter to mass. Oh, it's a very good counter to mass Ultralisk plus Ling. Keep throwing out those mines everywhere. They do a ton of damage to Ultralisks, and they can clean up huge groups of Lings as long as they don't get picked off first. They do very, very well against those. And of course, you can leave your vultures there to soak up Lings as well. Try to stop them from running into mines. Try to get those mines to connect on the Ultras. That's where they really get the value. So yeah, you can see he's using a little bit of Marine Medic here to just kind of push things back, make sure he has room to set up those mines. And that'll give him control enough to snag a bunch of bases in the bottom right-hand corner. He's going to start to grab that quadrant of the map and hopefully throw down a few factories in that bottom right as well. Start to produce tanks there, because this Zerg player is about to be unleashed on the map. He is growing in supply by leaps and bounds, now up to 140 supply. All these Ultralisks are about to have +2 armor, plus chitinous plating, and of course that speed. It might have happened already as action is starting to push out here. Beautiful plague. A bunch of science vessels going to go down here as well, and that's something you can really look to when you're checking the balance of power between Zerg and Terran in this matchup, is how many vessels have been picked off during the game. Actually, those are the first couple that he's managed to track down. There's still plenty of opportunities here as action pushes out on the map. He's going to take that ground control, and so it'll be easier to start to land those Scourges. Look at how much damage is being done simply by these free mines. Every single time you build a Vulture, you get 3 free mines. They can deal so much damage, can become so worthwhile, so cost efficient against these Ultras. There's another mine shot, just about picking off an Ultra, which is an extremely expensive unit and is difficult for the Zerg player to produce just due to the cost in gas. Such a valuable resource in this matchup. Killing his own medics there. That's fine though. Taking care of another group of Lings here. D-Matrix being used. Not the most impactful D-Matrix. Here comes a single Muta, gonna get 2-3 kills on these science vessels. I don't know why he decided to fly away there. Might as well dive in for another kill. You are gonna lose that to the Irradiate here. But he decides to fly away regardless. +3 is done for Royal, which is great. Having that +3 done means he's ahead in upgrades over action right now, which is exactly where you want to be as a Terran player. 5th base is starting to come up here. Royal already on top of that. He needs to prevent action from taking any further bases on this map. 4 base is difficult enough to handle, but once base 5 and 6 have been taken, the Zerg player becomes such a menace on the map. They can do basically whatever they want, produce as much as they want. The number of hatcheries is kind of insane. Beautiful plague there on a ton of medics means those are going to get picked off very, very quickly. And this base down here at the bottom right is nearly going to get taken out here. Uh-oh, where is the army of Royal? Looks like it's coming from the main base and that third. Trying to be transferred right now. Some tanks present here. Still harassing on the other side of the map. Action. Dealing with many fires at the same time. Royal doing the same. Looks like he is going to reclaim this 4th base at least. Tanks with just +1 right now, but they're still so valuable against the Ultra Ling style. They just can kill so many of these units as they're running forward. If you have them in high enough numbers, they can just eradicate everything. And it forces the Zerg player to make some sacrifices, to make some adjustments to what they're doing. Rather than just continuously producing Ling and Ultralisk, you have to do things like add in the drops, do things like tech switches, get back into mutas, try to pick off tanks, but that leaves kind of openings for the Terran to make advantage out of that. So, ooh, on top of this, fighting on top of this group of mines is brutal. Wow, an absolute bloodbath there. Giant hefty bags of ketchup exploding all over the battlefield here as these mines explode. It's always very funny to me when the mines pop up and then the target that they're going after dies. They go back underground, even though there's another target right beside it. Comes another wave of attacks here. 3 defilers make their way up into this new 5th base, but aren't able to put down any meaningful spells here. Looks like he is going to finish this off with a tank as well. One more shot should do it. Another round of Ling Ultra just going to run straight up into this base. Beautiful mine connects there for Royal. Dealing a lot of damage. D-Matrix. Always helpful to keep those tanks alive. Finally, another Defiler gets down here. He probably throw down a couple of spells here, but falls before he is able. Plague can be super good against tanks as well, because when you bring them down to just 1 or 2 HP, the splash damage from their fellow tanks will kill them instantly. So be a great way to deal with those tanks if you can get in range with the Defiler. Looks like a full mech transition now from Royal. He's not producing any more Marine Medic. Those have all gone away. Instead, he is now focusing here on that tank production. You can see he's got so many, and he's about to have +3 attack here. Oh, actually, neither of the armories are spinning, so it looks like he's stuck on +2 for now, just kind of battling for this bottom right. However, the drop is coming in. You can see the supply has switched as well. 150 now to 188. Let's see how this drop goes, because Royals committed a ton of resources to defending the bottom right. How much does he have back at home defending what he already has? How much does he have defending this main base? That's so many barracks and, of course, most importantly, supply depots. Beautiful drop here. You can see the Defiler throwing down that Dark Swarm on the ramp. All of these supply depots are going to end up going down. That is huge damage here for Action. Going to slow down Royal so much with this attack, I think. There's some really good irradiates going down. It looks like he will be able to get rid of a lot of this army, but can he deal with the follow-up attacks here? Action just sending waves upon waves of army supply down through the map. Gonna break into this natural as well and start to clean up the cleanup crew of Royal. What he sent down to clear out his main is going to end up getting taken out here. And this might be the killing blow because Royal, I mean, he doesn't have that much production. GG. Action takes that game, kicks Royal out and off of the hill there. The king of the hill has been defeated. Action gonna move on. He gets the thumbs up from KCM. Gets the thumbs up from me as well. Let's go into our next game. That's gonna be a PvZ. All right, next up we got Bisu versus Action. Action spawning here in the top left. Bisu way over in the cross map position here in the bottom right. Get some PvZ action going. Sounds good. I think Bisu hasn't been performing quite at the level that we expect from him, but it's hard to keep that type of thing up to be the best for a long period of time. Only a few players have ever been able to do it. I think you know who they are or who he is. But even he can't stick around forever. We'll see if Flash manages to come back and be as dominant as he was in the past. You can tell it's hard, even for someone like Bisu, to take time off to go and do that military training and then come back and still be the very, very tip top of his race. So let's see how Bisu can control here, how he plays against Action, who's again taking a quick third base. I guess I shouldn't act surprised, since that is pretty standard in this matchup. I for whatever reason, I was putting a bit of an intonation there. But this looks like exactly the same build as last game. It's funny. Sometimes the builds have to be so incredibly different, and for the longest time, Zerg versus Protoss and Zerg versus Terran builds have been so different. But this might be a new style. What Action's doing is playing basically the same type of opener against both Zerg, or both Terran and Protoss, which is kind of crazy. Kind of interesting. I'm really shocked that Action managed to win that last game, considering how much he put into that early Ling bust that did nothing. But then again, Crazy Zerg is pretty darn strong, guys. Not to be messed with. It tends to fall in and out of favor over time, but I think it's always been pretty darn strong. 4 Zealots coming across the map here. They will be spotted by Action, who has a Hydraless den back at home. He's thinking about Hydra busting, but he just has to deal with this attack, I think. This attack is priority number 1. We've got these 2 Hydras here that will be revealed the moment these Zealots come in. And Bisu gonna micro against this. Still a tough fight here for Action. Even though he can micro away from this pretty efficiently, you gotta be very careful not to lose these early Hydras. Start to lose Hydras here, you can get yourself in a really tough position. Now he can come across the map and kill this wall. That is an option here. But he's gonna get backstabbed by a Zealot, and over here at Bisu's base, there's 2 cannons finishing up Should have 4 cannons finished before the attack comes, so Bisu should be 100% fine here, I think. The Zealots bought more than enough time. See how this backstab does. Another forge coming up in the back. That means he's resigned to the fact that this forge will likely end up dying. Gonna let it continue to research for now, but pretty soon he'll have to cancel that and change up his production, start producing the attack upgrade there in the main base instead. Lair on the way here for action. Does he have all of his overlords defended? Because Corsair is coming across the map here. That range not quite done yet. Action adding on some hatches now. That should be clear to Bisu. That Action's not planning on busting this location. He's just going to hold himself back here. Hold this back. Try to keep Bisu in his base as long as possible. 1 drone goes down. That's a big kill there for Bisu. Action trying right now to transition into a macro game. That's made a lot harder by the loss of additional drones. Bunch of gateways being thrown down in the main. Does he finish this upgrade? I feel like it should finish any second here. Only 3 Hydras attacking it, so I think it's gonna finish. Oh man, it's gonna be close. He goes for it, diving. Beautiful there. Action gets it, probably just seconds before finishing. And the +1 attack has been denied and will be denied for the longest time possible here. As Bisu now just gonna start that +1 upgrade again in his main. Gives Action a huge advantage, honestly. Not having that +1 for Bisu hurts so badly here. So more and more hatcheries being added on for Action. Spires coming up here in the natural as well. It's a pretty dangerous location for that spire, I guess. Having that right out in the front is it's very targetable for an army coming up. If Bisu does attack in that position, it's not the easiest position to attack into, but losing your spire is really painful. Here comes that speed upgrade with these zealots. Gonna push forward, throwing back the Hydralist force here at the front. Action gonna have to switch back into Hydra production here shortly. A 4th base on the way. Action not slowing down at all. He is in full macro mode. His own +1 should be nearing completion here, so he will likely end up having a nice upgrade advantage here for a little bit. +1 armor is done. So I guess Bisu started armor in his main instead of attack. That's a little bit interesting. Getting that armor first. These zealots looking for that 4th base. They have no idea it's up there in the top center. The lurker is done. Ooh, that's not good, man. Bisu, he's just pumping zealots right now, and that's all he's got out on the map. Action's gonna get this 4th base for sure now, because he just cannot attack into a position with lurkers with pure zealot. It's not gonna happen. A single Mutalisk flitting around the main base, checking things out. Eggs. Key part of this defense here. Keeping Bisu away from that 4th. And those lurkers will do the same task once they have been burrowed. This Muta just looking for things that it can spot. Just a scouting Muta here. Will be picked off now, but spots the addition of that 3rd base. Ton of drones. Wow, so many drones being added on here. Action taking all the liberties he can in this game, making sure that he can have an insanely strong mid and late game his Hydra army is going to be so huge. He's already got 112 supply. He's got how many lurkers in this location? That is an absolute slaughterhouse there in 12 o'clock for Zealots. Those would be just crushed if they decide to attack that position. Lurkers out here in the middle. There's no observer that I can see, so running in here is probably not going to do anything. Another lurker trying to burrow. It gets picked off, though. And Zealots are running right up here into the natural. This is a good position for Action. He's using his SimCity very nicely. More lurkers being added here. Coming up and burrowing, but the Corsairs are doing a ton of damage. Now these lurkers are really getting their value. Smashing through the Zealots here at the front of this natural. But the Zealots can run up into the main. No! Denied. Lurker egg on the ramp. Beautiful play from Action. Gonna stop Bisu from getting more value out of these units. Still trying to get more Overlords here. Action hasn't done a great job of keeping those alive so far, but that was quite a lot of chaos caused by Bisu during the previous few moments. And it will give him a window of opportunity here while Action's been knocked off his feet to try and grab this third base once again. We'll see if he can hold on to that. He has a ton of Dragoons now. He's really rounded out his army with that Templar tech as well. He's still got 6 Corsairs, which is crazy. Killed a ton of Overlords during that fight. But I still feel Action's position here. He has had that 4th base up for quite a while. We're still not mining on the 3rd here for Bisu. And Action is going to be pumping out an insane supply of Lurker Hydra to throw at Bisu here with this next fight. Coming towards this ramp. This is a great position for Bisu to fight from. He's got the Templars, so forcing Action away. Ton of Overlords just popped out. Action prepared now for any sort of supply block situation that could come about as a result of Bisu sharking around with these Corsairs. Doesn't want to get supply blocked here, so adds on a ton of those Overlords. Bisu doing the same. Look at how many pylons he's added here. Nearing 200 supply. Good positioning here from Action. He's setting up his lurker field in a very advantageous location. Good first storm there. Second storm, the Hydra's just running through it and then having to retreat once again. Lurkers are being cleared very well here from Bisu. Bisu not committing any Zealots forward to this attack and completely clears out this lurker field. Great control out of Bisu here. Not allowing Action to take a foothold on the map. Now Action gonna change his focus down to this new 4th base here at the 5 o'clock position. Can he break through this location? His forces are spread out much more, but this one little 3-pillar break in the center of the screen is messing up his Hydra so much. There's some great storms there. He's gonna dive forward. Can he get some Templar? Nice morph of the Archon there during the middle of that, or in the middle of that fight. One more storm is cast. That's a huge storm. Middle of this army. Hydras are in overwhelming numbers here. Another storm goes down, but this is not a great storm. Charging forward, Action gonna clear out these Zealots here very quickly. This is so many Hydras clumped up with no storms. The Zealots don't really stand a chance. There's one last storm there, but now he's completely out of storms. Action pushing forward with an immense supply of Hydra heading towards the natural. Now going to cut off the reinforcement route here for Bisu. Try to push straight up into the natural, not allowing him to get value out of that 4th base at all. Instead, just going to go for the throat here, picking off a bunch of these reinforcing Dragoons as they pop out of the gateways. He's going to try to run up the ramp here. So many probes being transferred. Unfortunately, no lurkers underground. No lurkers burrowed there to take advantage of that fact. Another lurker running up here. This is way too much action. Just going to completely overwhelm here. This is something that we see sometimes. It happens on ladder, I think, a lot more than it does in professional games, is where the Protoss is just taking bases a little bit too quickly, and the Zerg player sees an opening going straight for the throat, right into the natural, and ends the game just like that. Getting on top of these gateways is the death blow, and Action takes out Bisu. This best of one. Alrighty, boys, we're gonna keep this shit going. Got Sharp versus Action coming up next. Sharp in the top right, Action in the top left. They're on this new map. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Multiverse. But now I just cannot remember. Got that center island in the middle with the double gas. This is a weird map. Temples in the back that leads to a semi-island base with the minerals beside it that you can mine out. There's a lot of shit going on with this map. I'm not sure how it's going to affect ZVT in the long run. Things have been semi-normal from what I've seen, but that back natural, whenever there's a back natural to a base, similar to what we saw on that ladder map recently, what was that called? Optimizer, I believe, where they actually had double gas in the main, and then there was that back natural that could be mined out, or mineral patches that could be mined out to lead to a back natural. Whenever there's one of those back naturals, what I'm trying to say is that it definitely changes the Zerg versus Terran matchup a lot, because it allows that Zerg player to pretty easily go ahead and grab a third base, get that third gas quickly and safely, and that it does affect this a lot. Now, I'm not sure how much it will affect on this map, particularly because there is stacked, or there are stacked temples leading to that back natural, so it'll take a long time to break through there. We've got a three hatch play coming from Action. That's an incredibly quick third hatch there, so he's going for a real macro build to start this one out. Might struggle to hold on against this 2 racks that's coming from Sharp. He's going to be able to push out here real quick with a couple of medics, and Stim should be able to block that entrance pretty easily as well to defend against run-bys with the wall. He's going to be able to put on a lot of pressure here. Action's natural just finishing up now. He's going to be transferring some drones, and he's not transferring any drones, but he will have to get a couple of sunkens here. Maybe one will be okay. I'm not sure. This number of Marines, I think he might actually need 2. The Rush distance not that far in these horizontal positions here. Like, he's already mining out this back mineral field, so he can get through that mineral field here pretty quickly, and then take that back natural. But Sharp's already starting to move out. He doesn't have a medic yet. Action is going to throw down his sunken colony here in a second. He sees the number of Marine, so he knows. Oh, wait a second. Is he not going to throw down the sunken? That is kind of crazy. Okay, sees the 2 medics now. He needs a sunken colony right now. He throws down the first one, a second, and a third. Okay, he's going crazy for these sunkens right now. He's going to drop 3 sunkens immediately. I don't think it's going to be fast enough, though. There's the Stim. He's running forward. Sharp's kind of masked this build perfectly here. He's going to start to break these sunken colonies. Diving on from behind here with some links. GG is called. Sharp takes the win. Ooh, man, if only Action had thrown down those sunken colonies with that drone that he had in place to do so. Guess he didn't see the number of Marines that he was looking for. And when those medics came out, he was just completely shocked by that. Ooh, that was a quick game. Very quick game. We'll be going on to Sharp versus Best coming up next. Okay, our next game here, Sharp versus Best. Sharp in the bottom left, Best in the top right. A little bit disappointed after that last one. Wanted to see how ZVT was going to play out on that map. But Action skimps on the defenses. Fails to scout that 2-Rax play coming across the map. Ends up dying immediately. We've all been there as Zerg players. Hard to tell what the build is in the early game if you can't get your Overlord over the natural. Makes things really difficult, so there's a bit in the dark there. Ends up losing. Now it's Best here on this 4-player map. I can't even remember the name of this one. But it's a polypoid clone. Very, very similar to polypoid. I think it's called like Largo or something. Can't remember. But the tile set is exactly the same. Got this nice little natural and then a third base. Mineral only. Just outside of that. And plenty of locations to take around the map. Plenty of resources here to eat up. Good for Protoss. This type of map where you can take a couple of extra naturals if the game does go long. Make it difficult for the Terran player to choose where to attack. And you can send out reinforcements from all different locations, from all different parts of the map, surround that Terran army. We'll see if it gets to that point. Sharp is a very aggressive Terran player, probably our most aggressive Terran player, maybe aside from Rush. He really likes to make games quick against Protoss. Do quick timing attacks. A lot of run-bys. His Vulture play is second to none, really. There's some excellent Vulture play. We'll see if that becomes a factor here in this game. So far, both players just getting their naturals. Opening up very economic. Best got the scout off. He knows where his opponent is, at least. He doesn't know about that command center, though, so some unknowns here on the map. I'm surprised that Best doesn't want to leave this Dragoon on the ramp. I feel like why not leave that on the ramp so that Terran can't scout your main. You don't want him to know that you've got a robotics facility coming, right? That always just confuses me a little bit, why he wouldn't do that. Maybe he intends to react immediately if an SCV does come in and run it back to the ramp, but why wouldn't you just take the chance, take that out of the equation, that could actually slip by if you're not paying close enough attention. Let's see if he gets it. Okay, yeah, he's got the Dragoons on high alert there. This time with 2 Dragoons, you won't even get to the ramp as the SCV in that situation. So he's not even going to try. Observatory on the way. 3 gate obs for Best. Very standard build. Going to have a ton of Dragoons out here ready for a early attack, which Sharp might do, but hasn't committed to just yet. He's got 2 facts on 2 bases. If he's been producing Marines this entire time, he might have a timing attack, but it looks like he hasn't. So probably we're just going to go into a more macro-oriented game here for Sharp. Double spinning machine shop there. Comsat's coming up. He's going to get a scan off in just another second here. Find out what the Protoss is doing. When he sees that it's completely normal play with no additional text added on, I think that Sharp can just calmly move towards a third base, as he's just not going to have a successful attack timing with this number of Dragoons. It's going to be very tough. Ooh, this could be huge. Oh, no! No building thrown down in that wall, so he's going to get... Oh! Oh my god, that was so close. Really good pullback there by Best. I thought for sure that mine was going to go off and kill every single probe there, but it didn't. He manages to survive, still dealing some damage inside of the natural there, killing off a few more probes, but that could have been a lot worse. A lot worse there for Best, had that mine gone off favorably for Sharp. Oh, you gotta pull the SSCVs. No, doesn't block the Dragoons and loses a tank, so big loss there for Sharp. Trying to micro against this number of Dragoons, very, very tough. 2 volleys will absolutely kill your tank, so always gonna dive forward. Once again, there are 2 tanks here, though. Gets the tank, will back off. 3 Dragoons are lost for a single tank. Not a terrible trade there for Best at all, who has quite a bit of production here back at home in terms of Dragoon numbers. Should be fine to slow down the Terran advance here by a little bit. 2 more factories coming down. Is he going to go for a 4 factory push here? I don't see the Stargate or any sort of progression towards the next upgrade cycle, so he's probably just going to go all in here with 4 factories. He's slowly pushing out as though he's planning to take a third base, but I'm not sure that's the plan here. This is not too many Dragoons, this is not too many tanks. There are no mines in place, so Best should be able to cancel this third. He runs forward and kills this. Whoa, 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 that was some messy play there by Best, just allowing a couple of Dragoons to die for free. Not the best. Now, gonna have to slide some tanks forward here a little bit, but he still has the SCV alive. Looking safe here. Sharp taking that third. I'm surprised he's taking this right now because he doesn't have the additional techs here. And he's sitting on 4 factories. Okay, now adding on that starport. I think that's going to be a little bit slow to hit that +2 timing, but he can start +1 armor and then get the second armory once that science facility has started, and that should line up for the +2. Sharp finishing up his third base about the same time as Best gets his third base as well. Looks like that's going to throw in on a 4th now. Try to stay 1 step ahead in that economy. Keep his production high. There's a robotics facility, so eventually we will have Reavers out here. Might be the first Reaver in a shuttle right now. Does get denied though by great position, or very well positioned turrets, both the main and third base. Sharp with the minimalistic approach to the number of turrets he's put down, but he's got them in great position. You can see there's just 1 in the natural as well. Really keeping it light in terms of turrets so he can have a better push here as the mid game comes. Another base going up in the top left for Best, so you can see he's planning ahead here, expecting this to go later. Best wants to grab that main base so he can start to throw gateways up there as his economy kicks in. 2 Reavers are ready to go in case a push does come from Sharp. The rest, the Dragoons, just hanging out on the side. It's got a little bit dangerous We do have a good number of Goliaths, so if Goliaths jump out here in a spread formation and just start attacking that shuttle, then he could pick off the shuttle and then run down those Reavers as they try to retreat slowly. We'll see if he ends up doing that. Yeah, he's got 3 Goliaths here. Spread out the Goliaths. Just go straight for that shuttle. He does get it. Now he will be able to pick off these Reavers. He might lose a few units here, but as long as he spreads... Oh, he didn't spread very well, but he only loses 2 tanks. Or 2 Reavers. Not too bad. Very gas-intensive units, the Reaver. The shuttle, everything very expensive, and it slows down the push so much, so... Sharp being able to pick that off means his push will come a lot faster and a lot harder here when it does start to come. Now, Sharp, I think the best play for him at this moment will be to attack upper left. Try to break into that upper left with his push. At the same time, taking the base at the center left. He's getting some good harassment here, slowing down this mining at the main base in upper left. Only 1 probe remains there, so really good harassment overall from Sharp. Now, does he have another command center? There it is. I think this command center will float to the center left there. That base is kind of tucked away in the corner. Can be defended easily by reinforcing units from Sharp. He hits this attack. Best is going to have a hard time holding this one because he has stretched himself very thin. His economy is just now starting to kick in. He's lost some probes, so he really doesn't have much economy in that upper left right now. And he doesn't have a whole lot of tech to back up that Protoss army, so for the most part, he's going to be fighting with gateway-only units. We'll see if he has some storms ready when this push comes. But we've reached 171 supply. Sharp should be pushing here any moment. Oh my god. Okay. Command Center's heading south. That is a bit of a surprise. And Sharp also moving out with his vultures right now. That is also a surprise. I'm not sure that I like this from Sharp. Moving out with these vultures at this timing. He is going to get some kills on some zealots, which is nice. But he's going to end up losing... Ooh, that was a great mine drag there. Running forward with the zealots, making sure that those vultures take damage from those mines as well. Now, first few Templars are popping out. Unfortunately, this will be denied. This is why I didn't like this idea. Like, trying to snag this base is just not really going to happen. You want to push north here as Sharp, so why not take the center left? He is at 190 supply now, so he's just going to shove straight across the map, actually going directly towards the natural. Wonder how this is going to work out. There is a nice high ground position to take here in the center, which can be nice. It's great to fight from a high ground whenever you have the chance. As the Terran army is also going to trap these Dragoons, it looks like. Trying to focus that science vessel. Something that any great Protoss player will do. There we go. He gets the science vessel there, which is a nice pick-off, but he loses all of his Dragoons in that bottom right. And Sharp is coming hard and fast now. Tons of vultures, tons of tanks headed towards the middle of the map. Gonna start to push this Protoss player back. But Best will max out here before the attack hits. Here's some storms. Oh, the most deadly storm there on those tanks. These tanks so close to going down here. The Zealot's just going to dive right on top of them. This entire army is surrounded. So many Zealots. Beautiful storm there as well. And Best just going to take this fight easily now. Finishing this off, and he is in a amazing position here. I know that Sharp has a fourth base in the bottom right that might, or bottom center, that might be the only saving grace here, I guess, for Sharp. Redeeming factor. But that attack just did not work at all. He's completely reset the tank count here. His supply is very low, only 140 supply. Be hard to hold that base against this attack. You know, he can't bring his units up onto that high ground without risking them going through the central area. So he's gonna have to push through here, and there's a couple of storms here. Ooh, the storm is so good. Oh my god, Best so clean with the storm, picking off those tanks now, just tracking them down. Like he's gonna drag one more mine, but now his path is clear to take control of this fourth base. Nothing that Sharp can do about this, and he's gonna get shut down on this fourth. And Best is taking more bases. He's on 5-6 bases now. His economy is unreal. The next potential location he can take is bottom right. There's a ton of money in the bank right now for both players, but the macro here. Okay, dropship. Sharp shutting down one base. So this, guys, this is one base of 6. Whereas Sharp is now mining just on 3 bases. His main is about to mine out. His natural is about to mine out. Quick drop here by Best. That's going to shut down this attack. He kills the tank as well. He might even get that shuttle. Actually, I don't think he'll get the dropship, but doesn't matter. All the units have been killed. He can go back to mining in that location. And I think Best's going to take this game now. He is in such a good lead. There's some more probes being transferred. He's going to try pick off what he can here. Economy. Oh, that was pretty good. Nice mine hits there. Like he could get this one too. Oh, he gets the mine hit, but no probes end up dying in that transfer. Another base being floated here to the center left. This is the base I thought he should have taken in the first place. Another base coming down here for Best. He's just going to throw down bases everywhere now. He can absolutely afford to do so. Sharp being aggressive with these vultures. Living up to his reputation here. But I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Best just has such good macro here. His economy is insane. Looks like that small army at the 6 o'clock is now trapped. Plenty of mines behind that, so it shouldn't be able to escape easily. Probably won't join this next battle. Sharp takes his 4th base once again, but he can't be feeling good about his situation here at all. Big drop coming through. There's the storm. No. Denied. Too many vultures in that location. Instantly pick off that Templar. A good win for Sharp. That would have been terrible had all of those SCVs been stormed at that new fresh base. Can he pick off this probe? He's gonna go for it. Probe! Oh, he just barely doesn't get that. Could have slowed down the cannons at that base and made a further vulture run by even more effective. Not that I think that you're even gonna win by a vulture run buying here. Like, vulture run bys can only get you so far. You need a push that comes out and actually crushes some bases here as Sharp. That's the only way you're gonna end up winning. And this is the number 2 push. This is push number 2 coming across the map now. Sharp is ready to go. He's maxed out. His upgrades are much better. It's 3-2. A very scary army. But is this game too far gone now? Can he actually make this work? It's very, very tough. Very scary for Best to hold on, but he has all the resources in the world. He has gateways in 2 main base locations. He's got about 7 bases right now. Here comes this attack. Nothing sieged up just yet. Here comes the storm. Pretty good storm on those vultures. And a storm as he retreats as well. The storm on the advancing tanks is really good. But there's not much left over for Best now. Will he be able to crack this base? Will Sharp take top left? Sieging up in range of the cannon. But unfortunate, I think he loses that. Yeah, he does lose that tank. That definitely sucks. Now, this base at 6 o'clock, gonna be canceled, gonna be stopped. Sharp just needs to send some reinforcements down to that location. Best gonna go ahead and take bottom right, it looks like. Whole bunch of units going down there to that bottom right. Clean things out and take that nexus as well. Third base is mined out. Sharp mining on one base right now, but he is picking off some locations. This nexus here didn't go down. Wow. Didn't pick that off just yet. Slowing things down here. Best dropping out zealots to try to keep his 12 o'clock base alive, but he's done a great job. Really a fantastic job of keeping his bases alive so far. Sharp trying to desperately hold on to 6. And it looks like he will, with these reinforcements, be able to hold on to this. Almost kills off his entire SCV train there with his own mine, but looks like he will keep those alive. Uh-oh, get these tanks back. He's got to get these on high ground right now. Being a little bit crazy here with the tanks, sending them out. I'm really surprised that he was doing that. He needs to secure this base right now. Not being aggressive with these tanks, and there we go. Psionic Storm on everything. All the tanks die, and this 6 o'clock base will once again be denied. Sharp just not able to hold on to this, and it makes sense why he's not able to, because this is just not in his push path. He's leaving open a huge counterattack path here for the Protoss to utilize. Now that he's moved over to this right-hand side, probably he could hold 6 o'clock, but it's too late. He's going to be surrounded here by this army. The spread of tanks is insane, though. Best just cannot engage with that army at this time. The base in upper right is still, or upper left is still fine. Best still mining there, but he's going to lose this base here. He's going to lose all the probes here as well. Storm's coming down, but there's no pylon here. All the probes will fall. That is a huge blow to the economy of Best, who's really only mining from upper left now, I guess. So it's truly just one base mining versus one base mining here. I guess that the mineral only still has a little bit of resources. Also, the natural for Best has a little bit of resources, but it's gonna get very hard here soon as more bases continue to mine out. Back 6 o'clock, gonna be taken once again. Sharp needs to think about leaving some more resources at that location, because wow, look at this base as well. He really only has one tank over in that center left. Can be broken so easily by Best if he gets some zealots into that area. Another base being set up by Best in the upper left. I'm surprised he didn't take bottom right main ever. I thought he sent a probe down there to pick that, or to get that base, but he just didn't take that nexus, which is a little bit shocking to me. Now the push path is clear, really clear here for Sharp. Just push straight north. We have a few units behind to defend 6 o'clock, and he should be able to deal a crippling blow here, unless... Pretty good storm so far. Storming the D-Matrix tank, not the best though. Really don't want to be storming that D-Matrix. D-Matrix absolutely negates storm. So it seemed like a poor choice there. Or Best, he's pulled his army all the way into the back of this base here for Sharp. This is not the only mining base now for Sharp, though. I mean, there's no counterattack going down to the 6 o'clock. Oh, he does have storms here, though. No counterattack, but there is a great harassment opportunity there. So many Templar coming out here. Best just using up all of his gas. And the last of his resources to try and stop this base mining here. Oh my goodness, this is really unfortunate. A whole bunch of vultures coming up. These Zealots and Templar should be just picked off piecemeal here. Oh, more storms being thrown down, but eventually I think the vultures will find and kill all of these Templar. Picking off the probes as well. Getting more Templar here in the back. The storms are pretty decent to try and pick them off. Only one vulture remains. This is crazy having this number of Templar here for Bez. He's just laden with Templar. No Dragoons that I can see. Pure Zealot Templar. Here's that shuttle coming up. Should be able to pick up a couple more storms. Pick up a couple more. Oh my god. So many probes gonna get taken down here. Shoots the Nexus for whatever reason. Now the probe's going to retreat away. And Zealots will be brought up. Finally, these can go back to mining. Ooh, that's gonna try and break in this base. Man, it is rough here, though. So many tanks in that mineral line. Let's see if he can get some good storms here. Vultures running up, going to start picking off as many Templar as they can. Limit those storms. Zealots jumping in on top of that mineral line. He's gonna get a storm on top of his own shuttle. But it looks like he will be able to break into this base. Sharp not going to be able to hold on to this location for now. Jumping up here against Dragoons and Templar on high ground would be kind of suicidal, so he's not going to do that for now. Just going to allow this command center to die and try to counterattack instead. Heading up towards that upper left natural. Going to go check out this 12 o'clock base as well. A small army from Best is heading around the bottom side of the map. If it can stop the mining here for Sharp at 6 o'clock, there's just going to be nothing left here for Sharp. Oh my goodness, he is going to get up here as well. The tanks unsieged. Where are these vultures? He needs vultures over here. There we go. Vultures coming up. Will be able to clean out these Zealots, it looks like. Keep Sharp alive here. But this has been an incredible back and forth between these two players. Best and Sharp. I'm really not sure who's going to win this now. I thought that Best pretty much had it. But now it seems like Sharp has fought back well enough that he really has a chance here. He has a good chance, a good opportunity to take this game. Keeps away that shuttle for now, not going to get storm dropped at 6 o'clock. Sharp is only mining on one base once again. Going to drop a tank here on high ground. Try to get as many probes as he can. I'm not sure how impactful probe kills are going to be at this point. Only got a couple there. Or getting taken down. That dropship 2 finally did fall, so not going to be any more. Oh, storm! Oh, pretty decent storm there on those tanks. Gonna kill one of them as well. Not able to get too many SCVs there, but does delay the mining a little bit. Sharp sitting here at 86 supply. Barely scraping together an army at this point. But he is still sharking around the map with some vultures, doing his best to get value out of those units. Wow, that vulture, or that zealot actually didn't die. Oh my god, the science vessels! What the hell was that? Science vessels wander into the natural and just die. Those things have so much value in these kind of crazy situations like this, where you can throw down D-Matrix. And, I mean, like I said, it completely negates your storm. If you throw a D-Matrix on a tank, that tank will not die through the storm. So really surprised and disappointed to see that go down. Those science vessels go down there like that. Now I think Sharp has no chance. Yeah, GG is finally called. Wow, what a back and forth there. Gets the clapper from KCM. A very good Terran versus Protoss there. Late game shuttle Templar to its used to its fullest extent there by Best. I'm surprised he didn't want to do any sort of transition there. He had so many bases, but I think he might have actually died to that second push had he tried to transition in that moment after killing off that first army. Something to think about. Anyway, guys, we're going to go into the next game with Best winning that. It's going to be Best versus Soma next. And our final player, Light, is in the background to take on the winner. Go ahead and watch that next game. All right, let's finish this off strong. We got Soma versus Best. Best here in the top right. Soma in the bottom right. Of course, it is Butter. That brand new 2-player map. Looks like a lot of fun. Giving us some good games so far. But I want to see a nice late game PvZ here. See if Best can give it to us. If Soma can take us there. Starting out with that pylon and an immediate scout. Probably going to be a Forge Fast Expand or a Nexus first. Depending on what he scouts here, Soma. Saving up that minerals. Those minerals. Excuse me. Looks like he will be getting a pool first. I believe that is a overpool. Overlord popping out there. And Best, of course, going to see this. Is that actually a gateway? Okay, he actually got a gateway here. A little bit surprising. Didn't think with this early probe scout that he would actually go for gateway after this. But maybe that's what Soma's thinking too. You know, he's not going to expect this gateway coming. His Overlord will get here very fast. Again, it is a 2-player map, so setting that directly across the map, he is going to find out this build pretty darn quick. Nice block there. Best going to slow this down a little bit. Barely not getting that block the second time, though. And the Zealot is about to come across the map for that pressure. Best starting out here with that Zealot. No big surprise. But yeah, like I said, having a probe out this early for the harassment, for the scouting, generally that leads into an early expansion build, an early Forge build. So someone might be a little bit caught off guard by this. Ooh, pylon block here at the third. And there's only 2 Lings out right now, so they can't easily deny that pylon. The Zealot is about to get here, and he can actually stop this third from going down. This is really smart by Best. Look at that, blocking the hatchery from going down. He's going to completely deny this third here. Soma has to back away. Wow, and not having the third base is really painful for the Zerg player in this position. You absolutely need that larva, so he's going to rush over here. But the second Zealot already at this location, he's going to block that as well. No third base for Soma as of yet. That's super, super annoying. But Lings headed across the map. Oh no, the block is no good. Best allowing those Lings to slip by. Now we've got Lings in the main here. Oh, that's super frustrating. After having a good opener like that, he just barely doesn't block those Zerglings out, and now he's going to have to deal with Lings in the main. Ooh, 2 Zealots running right past here. Someone was busy on the other side of the map. Doesn't see these Zealots getting into that space between the main and natural. Oh, getting a couple of probes. But Best manages to finish off all of the Zerglings. Looks like he might be able to get a drone here. Nope, gonna have to retreat behind the mineral patches now. Get himself into a good position. He can take as many of these Zerglings down with him as he can. Some more zealots coming across the map here right now, but a completely open natural. And Ling's speed finishes up. Can he just run straight through here? I think he can. Or Ling's gonna run right in here. Oh, that's not good. Best took the direct route, and Soma ran around here. This is one of the features on Butter, is that there's so many different movement paths, and this, oh my gosh, this pylon could get taken out, and if that goes down, oh, the surround on the zealot as well. The cannon gonna fall here, and the pylon gonna go down. Best is in such a horrible position here. He's got 3 zealots across the map, but there's all that someone needs to do is just produce Lings here, and he should be able to take this game. GG is called. Best taps out. Oh my goodness, just not respecting the run by there. There's so many paths on that map, on Butter, to cross. It's really similar to Eclipse in that way. There's just a whole bunch of different routes to take, and sending your zealots straight across the map does not guarantee that Zerglings are not taking a different path towards your main base. He leaves his natural wide open without a cannon or anything in the wall to block, and gets punished brutally there by Soma. A nice job by him. Basically wins the game there with 4 Lings. Not the game that I was hoping for, but there you have it. Guess we're gonna go into a ZVT for our final game. For our final game, Light versus Soma. Soma spawning up here in the top left. Light in the top right. And 8 racks to be the build of choice here for our Terran player. Soma, let's see if he grabs an early pool here, or if he decides to go for a 12 hatch. That could be the decider, honestly. This is a very close spawn location here with that 8 racks out in the front. Light can rally across the map very quickly. Be hard to hold if he goes for a 12 hatch here, and it looks like he's thinking about it. Yeah, no 12 pool, no over pool or anything like that. Just gonna go straight up 12 pool. And when is he gonna make this spawning pool? Oh my goodness, he just made another drone. Oh, Soma. Oh no, buddy. 12 hatch, 12 pool, it looks like. Oh no, 13. He makes another drone. Oh man. The economic build, the greed build here from Soma is going to get punished so hard, man. He went for 12 hatch, 13 pool. This is about the latest pool that you could ever want in ZVT. It's just so risky. And he's not going to have Zerglings out here for a very long time. He's going to have to pull a ton of drones in order to hold this. Light already has 2 SCVs here. How many more is he going to pull? It looks like he's pulling a lot back at home. Yeah, look at this. So many SCVs are being pulled. And heading up here, it's going to be up to Soma to dive on top of these Marines to avoid the SCVs as much as possible, and to try to hit these Marines with the drones. Of course, it'll be up to Light to try and body block here if he can. Ooh, kills off that SCV. And he should be able to hit here with a flank. Here we go. Jumping right on top of that first Marine. Nice job on that first kill. Diving on top of these Marines. Can he stop them from getting in the bunker? Oh, one does manage to get in the bunker. And all of these drones have to retreat. That is so rough. Just one Marine in that bunker. It's not the end of the world here if he gets the Lings together. Enough Lings here to... Oh god, what is that Ling doing? Not backing off at all there. Oh man, and he loses a Ling here to the SCVs. There's a lot of SCVs pulled here, so there's not too much back at home, but I can't imagine that there's less SCVs back at home than there are drones at home right now, because Soma, I think, has only 4 drones mining in the main base right now. He is so low on that economy. Oh god, he's getting surrounded here by the SCVs as well. That's so painful. does get that Marine though, but loses 3 drones for the trade there. That is super annoying. Now he's going to dive on top of this bunker. Finally going to pick this off, it looks like. Yeah, not a lot of repair going on here. Just with a couple of SCVs on the repair, he does manage to finish that off, but only 1 drone will make its way back home. Oh, I lied. It was only 3 drones in the main. Now with 4 here, Soma is in so much trouble. I don't think he can win this game from this position. It's so brutal. All he's got on the map is Zerglings. Just this small handful of Zerglings lights. Already got this bunker just about to finish. Looks like he's going to try and run by here, but he just barely finishes the bunker in time. Soma loses the majority of his lings, and now with just 3 in the main, there is little to no hope left for our Zerg hero here. Gonna try to do some micro tricks. Man, that hurts. He loses the lings here in the main. Now he's got nothing on the map, and he's forced to drone back up right now. It's going to take an absolute miracle to bring Soma back into this one. I don't think he even makes it to Muta here, honestly. He is so far behind. I'm surprised he hasn't tapped out already. But he wants to hang in there. Can't blame him for trying, honestly, or obviously. But it is going to be a crazy uphill battle here. See the gas finally going down. But he's so far away from any sort of tech. Really, Soma's ace in the hole, or his best unit in this game, is definitely the Mutalisk, and he can do some amazing things with those. But I doubt that even he can make a comeback from this position, especially against a player like Light, who's just so solid. He knows exactly what to do. He's getting his academy. He knows that Soma is incredibly limited on the map right now. He really doesn't have anything to contest. He's going to be very late with his mutas. If Light hits a good 2, 3, 4 racks push here with that +1 coming already as well, he's just getting so many advantages here right now that there'll be nothing that Soma can do to hold that push or try to contest it. He's not going to have mutas in time. Light won't have to make any turrets here because everything that Soma builds will have to be immediately sent to deal with this Marine medic push that's going to be coming here. He's also adding on a supply depot at the front just in case there's a huge Ling flood coming from Soma that could possibly have killed him here. Just making that, ruling out that possibility with that supply depot. You can see Soma skipping Ling speed, going straight into Spire. 3 more racks are on the way, so he's going straight to 4 racks actually. And he's going to have these 4 racks done and pumping away before even the first Mutalisk pops out. It's going to be really an insurmountable disadvantage here for Soma. Now running up into the main, this is a good move. He's going to slow down some of these barracks at least. Try to get them to just slow down a little bit. Delaying this push at all is great in this situation. That Spire almost done. And a 3rd hatch on the way. Soma getting prepared for a bit of a later game. He has about 500 gas in the bank, so he should be able to pump out quite a few mutas here. His minerals are very low, though. Surprised he feels that he can actually afford that 3rd hatchery at this point. I almost feel like getting into or trying to hide a base somewhere on the map might be the only real option here for Soma. Like, throw a base down at like 6 o'clock or something like that. Just try something because you're so far behind right now. He sees these Marines moving out. Like they're checking around for an overlord or a base there at the 12 o'clock. He sees there's nothing there, and now Light can start to push across. There are 3 mutas out here, and this is a serious threat to his front. Soma absolutely cannot go to harass right now, otherwise he will just die. He has to dog these Marines. He's only got about 5 mutas at this moment, and +1 is already done. There's no way that +1 could be finished right now for Soma, so he is really behind in those upgrades as well now. Got a bunch of sunken colonies coming up. This is probably enough to hold off against Light here if he decides to go all in here against these sunkens, and he is just going straight for it, man. This is pretty crazy. These mutas should be able to pick at these Marines pretty effectively, but wow, all the sunken colonies going down. This +1 timing just so strong. He rips this apart. One last sunken here, and it is going to go down. These Mutalists will fall, and GG is called. Soma taps out, and Light takes the victory. Bet you weren't expecting that. Terran taking home the victory this week, surpassing Protoss in the rankings. It's now 4 points for Terran, 3 points for Protoss, and 5 points for Zerg. A reminder that first place, the winner of each week, takes home 2 points. Second, or the runner-ups, take 1 point, and third place team takes no points home. And we're having a pretty tight season this go around. Actually, I'm surprised. Usually one race pulls out way ahead in the early part of the season, and then the others kind of start to catch up, or one really lags behind. But everyone's very, very tight here. A lot of competition right now. ASL is going on parallel to this tournament, so these guys are really tight with their gameplay. They've been practicing a lot, and they've got something to prove here, so it's great to see these guys come out and play. I'm sad that we didn't get to see more long games this week, but it was fun to watch some of these rushes go down. That's part of Starcraft as well, is throwing some rushes into your play and mixing things up, staying unpredictable. The strongest qualities of a champion, being unpredictable, not playing the same way every single time. And there's Light throwing in an 8 racks. That's just very out of character for him. But he brings it out, shows that he knows how to use it. And yeah, you can tell that Soma was really not expecting that with the 12 hatch and then 13 pool. That is very, very greedy. That is not something you do when you're expecting player to 8 racks you. So that's going to be it for today, guys. That's going to be it for this week of KCM. They get right on to the next one. I think it's already out now, so sorry about lagging behind a little bit. Been a busy week, busy month really, for all of you guys out there. Have a great week. See you guys in the next video.